I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know why the broadcast ended up. Like that was definitely weird for the broadcast to do. Let me see here. Smite is too gay to lose a friend over your friend was weird. Well, I don't necessarily subscribe to using the word gay as a derogatory term at this point, but I will admit that Smite is not the most stressful game that should require the loss of a friendship. There, I do agree. So I do think on that note, my friend was quite foolish and kind of sad in my mind. Like, why would you be that pressed for the game of Smite? Don't get me wrong, Smite can be fun, but it's not like friendship ending level. But what's important to some people is not necessarily important to others. So maybe I just greatly underestimate how much he truly loved Smite for that brief moment before he burnt out and then stopped playing that game. Uh, the shade. Why are murder cases so popular? Um, People like a good murder mystery. It's something intriguing as long as it's not happening to them. I mean, they don't want to be the ones murdered, but if it's not happening to them, then it's interesting for them. They're like, oh wow, look at that. But they for sure don't want to be the person on the receiving end of that. And rightfully so. Nobody out here trying to really be a person who's been murdered because who wants to get murdered? What? Would the dumbest person still be smarter than the smartest animal? Well, since the smartest animal is a human, then no, it would not be. But also, a dolphin is pretty smart too, so. Yeah. Dummy, just making all that dang on noise. How'd you get here? Don't be eating my stuff. And now you did. Do police fear arresting professional MMA fighters? Probably. I mean, nobody wants to get their butt kicked, so I'm gonna go with. I mean, I would be worried to face off against an MMA fighter, so I'm sure they're worried about it too. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past, after all. Might be wondering what I'm doing. I'm just grabbing all this. Oh wow, actually filled up. Cool. Make more space. Finding out that you can use that to make more space, I'm all like, oh, well then, instead of building another box, let me just make some good old-fashioned space. Most unexpected way. Oh, I have wool over here. Headshot. And I figured it out. If you could bring back an extinct animal, what would it be? Good question. I'll have to think about that. But maybe some of the ancient versions of humans, just so we could study them better. Do dogs get cold when they sleep? I would assume so, but they also have fur, so it's to help keep them warm, but dogs would get cold. Has an ex from years ago ever contacted you out of the blue? If so, what does she say? All the time, and whatever thing they can get to try to get me to talk to them, but don't work. What is the most F this I'm out moment of your past relationships? I don't know, probably being cheated on. Let's see. What is something unrealistic you see in movies that you hate? Oh, there's too many things to tame. That's a whole dedicated thing right there. What is the most badass thing a parent has ever done for you? I don't know, birthed me, I guess? Why is Brad Pitt always eating in every scene of Ocean 11? Is Brad Pitt a villain in that movie? I'm not sure, but I know movies try to show somebody as sophisticated and classy by having them eat food often. Um, why was Tony? Why wasn't Tony worthy to lift Mjolnir? Wouldn't he be worthy by the time he died? Tony wasn't worthy to lift Mjolnir because Tony is the villain of the MCU universe, and most of the problems in the MC universe, at least in the first three phases, can in some way, shape, and form be traced back to Tony and his family. So, uh, I don't really see how Tony would be able to lift Mjolnir when, if every time I look around, find trouble, Tony's there to be had. Probably just look like, no, you probably can't lift it. My opinion, that's why probably Tony wasn't worthwhile. I mean, man lied, cheated, and stealed to try to get what he wanted. Well, the Avengers movie started off with him bugging, like, what, shield carrier or something like that? I mean, don't get me wrong, Tony had at least a decent redemption arc, but at the same time, Captain America's whole joke on Tony was that, Tony can't make the real plays of sacrifice kind of deal. Somebody pulls that out on you, you in trouble. Yeah, Tony was never worthy. Besides, Tony's like the worst person anyway. I mean, the only reason people like Tony is because of Robert Downey Jr., but I will say this. Robert Downey Jr. is an amazing actor, but he's a terrible Iron Man. You might be like, how? How is that possible? Um, because that's what it is. Great actor. He's a terrible Iron Man. Because Iron Man is a trash human being. And Robert Downey Jr. makes Iron Man seem like he's a good dude. Like, you know, good or whatever have you. He made Tony Stark likable. Me, Tony Stark was never meant to be likable. Therefore, Robert Downey Jr. is a terrible Iron Man. Great actor. Not gonna dismiss his acting chops at all. The fact that he made Iron Man likable is actually impressive. But at the end of the day, Iron Man's trash, especially in the comics. So, statement I will stand by. And without him making him likable, though, it's not like we would have the MC universe that we know and love today. So, you know, very happy that he made Iron Man likable because that paved the way for quite a few more movies. But still, what happens if a surgeon becomes sick in the middle of surgery? They leave and you swap out surgeons because you wouldn't want a sick guy operating on somebody. Outside of the unethical ramifications of that, What is something you couldn't believe that you had to explain to an adult? Oh, probably how coronavirus worked. I didn't think it was that hard of a concept about how viral infections work. I had to explain this adult now. Sort of disheartening to say the least. I mean, very well versed in masks, having spent quite a bit of time now making masks. An engineer, chemical engineer. I understand biology because of that, because I study quite a bit of biology and anatomy. In short, I have extensive history in human biology, human anatomy, biology in general, viral stuff. Matter of fact, I one time had this one question from my biology teacher that they couldn't answer, and it's because viruses have this capability to activate certain proteins in times of distress, kind of deal, as if it's a sort of backup play that they can just pull out when they need it. And then the human cells and I think other cells too, they have something that they do when certain genes are activated. And I was trying to figure out if it was in some way, shape, or form related. That's the same function, but the biology teacher refused to give me a straight answer on that one. I think she just didn't know, but whatever. I ain't hold it against her, but for so long, probably a long time. But yeah, let's see. What do movies always get wrong about your profession? Well, probably that they think engineers are train operators for starters. If you shot a burglar in your house and then called 911, what should you do before the police arrive? Probably shoot the burglar again. Well, no, that's probably a bad idea. No, you should attempt to render first aid to the burglar that you have shot after making sure that the burglar had no weapons to hit you with, so that way, if the person does die, you can at least say that I shot them in self-defense, but then I tried to apply first aid after they were no longer a threat. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Tony was the villain. Yeah. I mean, he's still a villain. That's if we go down the list of every single of the movies, you're gonna find a Stark family member somehow causing the villain. Why is the U.S. I can go into greater detail. You know, I will go into greater detail on that one. I haven't had to do this in some time, so you'll have to bear with me just a little bit. But why is Tony the villain? Well, Tony's first scouted. We clearly see that Iron Man was not chosen for the Avengers initiative. He sort of invites himself in anyway. Cool. Then Tony, with his big arrogant head and big arrogant self, decides to be what helps Loki get away, getting into the fight with Captain America and Thor. Um, hijacks the helicarrier. Uh, Let me see. What else does he do? Because I had a whole long list of all the reasons why Tony's the bad guy. If we take a look at his first movie, in the very first movie of Iron Man, what was it? Jebediah? Was that guy's name? Jebediah was only able to become the villain because he had been operating as the second in command for a very long time, while Tony basically did nothing whatsoever and acted like the billionaire playboy that he was. You left Jebediah running the whole company, and then Jebediah's like, "Why am I running the whole company as number two when I could be running the whole company as number one?" I mean, if Tony Stark had been a more involved CEO, he would have known that his company was selling to terrorists, and he would have probably been able to track those terroristic payments before he was, kidnapped, shipped to who knows where, and almost killed, ever have you, kind of thing. for starters. So, matter of fact, if you think about it, um, he created Jebediah Stane, and then later the Ironmonger, or yeah, I think that's what it was called, or something like that. Because after he broke out and like killed everybody and left homies there in the jail cell, well, he left. He left enough of the technology behind that then these guys in the desert were able to basically recreate it. Now those guys in the desert were pretty stupid because they didn't see he was creating a whole suit of armor and thought he was creating a missile. Like they're dumb as sin for that, but still, he's the one who left all that tech behind. And you got to remember that Stain was initially a friend of the Starks. But then, since Tony was, not letting that man shine and just giving him all the grunt work, he got mad at him. And then in Iron Man 2, you had Whiplash, and I always thought that this was interesting because um, the only reason why Whiplash was walking around was because of plagiarism. If Tony Stark's dad had just been like, yo, I created this with the help of Whiplash's dad, we wouldn't even had Whiplash. But because this man couldn't so much as be bothered to say, I created this with the help of Whiplash, like spent all his time in, I don't know, Russia or something. I don't know where he was. But anyway, he got mad just because he wanted his dad to get some credit for helping build that arc reactor technology kind of deal. We had a whole villain come about because of that. Remember that now, a whole villain just because somebody couldn't give some credit. And then to make matters worse, once he failed, Tony started making fun of homie. He was like, I'm gonna make fun of this dude. And so then he went off and made better stuff, which lets you know that, that Whiplash and his dad were both pretty smart fellows. And all Iron Man had to do was not be a jerk for 32 seconds, and that whole situation would have been avoided. But nope, he couldn't do it. And then let's not forget Iron Man 3, where the only reason why that guy became a villain was because he wanted to talk to Tony about an interesting idea and instead left that man alone on a rooftop while he went to go bang some random chick. Uh, kind of deal. Like, if you had just not, I mean, like, it's one thing to say, hey, I ain't got time to talk to you tonight, let's talk in the morning or whatever have you. Because, I mean, clearly we're partying right now, so this might be the best time for me to talk shop. But, like, you led that man to believe you were going to go meet him on this rooftop and then you just let him sit up there all night. Like, that was rude as all get out. Because, he's got to sit up there for a while, thinking to himself, oh, maybe he's just running late. Maybe he got caught up in something. 3 hours go by and he's still hopeful kind of deal. So yeah, you created resentment of somebody. You created resentment in that guy, and that also means that you didn't, think he was worth his time. You didn't respect this man at all. You ain't value nothing about this fellow, where you're willing to just say, yeah, I'll meet you up on the rooftop, and then leave him up there for hours on end. Like, he's a smart guy, as you can tell in the movie, and he just got blown off completely for no particular reason except the fact that Tony can't keep in his pants, kind of deal. Um, and also in that same movie, I'm pretty sure that Tony gave a weapon to a small child and told him to use it against a school bully. So yeah, that's super responsible. Uh, and then let's not forget that Tony created Ultron, who was the whole big bad of the Avengers too. Kind of deal. I mean, if you create, I mean, that's four villains now that I think we're at for Tony. Just right off the bat, just boom, 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 boom. And then whatchamacallit, if you go into the Spider-Man movie, what happened to Spider-Man movie? I remember Tony, like, the Vulture guy was doing damage control. I remember because I got a kick out of that they had actually put Damage Control Inc. into the movie. And then, yeah, Tony showed up, undercut them, took away all their jobs, and made everybody homeless and broke. And so then Vulture came about because Tony came and wrecked their livelihood for no particular reason. Um, and shoot, matter of fact, if we stay on Spider-Man still, Mysterio came about because of Tony, jilting everybody. Tony jilted so many people. They came together and formed Mysterio as basically a company kind of deal. Like, that was not like one or two people. That was a whole department of people to make that Mysterio thing work. That's how many people Tony made mad in his own company kind of deal. Like, that's ridiculous. See, what else did Tony do that was messed up? I gotta think about it because Tony's a messed up was super the villain in this stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some times where I felt for Tony, and I thought that Captain America was super grimy. Also, don't get me wrong. He was definitely pretty grimy. Let's see. Technically, Iron Man creates Vision. Vision paralyzes Rhodey. Therefore, Iron Man's problem of getting Rhodey. Oh yeah, duh. Iron Man blackmailed Spider-Man until the Civil War. Remember, Spider-Man was minding his own business, and then Tony shows up and is all like, "Yo, bro, you this guy?" And Spidey's all like, "Yeah, I'm that guy. You shouldn't know that, but I am." And then Pete's like, and then Tony's basically like, "Yo, help me out, or I'm gonna like tell everybody." And then Pete's like, "Ah, dang. All right, I'll help you out." I mean, like, first off, if you about to fight in a civil war with these folks, why are you recruiting a kid? Like, the fact that you went and found this kid, recruited this kid, and brought him, like, he's a legitimate kid. That was messed up to begin with. And then he was sort of like a messed up father figure for Pete too. He kind of just did Pete dirty. Now that I think about it, quite often. That's just off the top of my head right here. Yeah, Tony is just straight up the bad guy in the MCU. He causes like all the problems. I mean, he was locking up heroes in a super secret jail cell without a trial. He created like all the villains, gave kids technologies, kidnapped kids, put them in wars. I mean, Tony was pretty much a bad guy. But anyway, yeah. So that's why I wasn't a big fan of Tony in the MCU. Why has the United States not had the same success in controlling COVID-19 like New Zealand or Australia? Well, one, because the United States politicized COVID-19 and made it where, like, if you wore a mask or you observed COVID-19 safety protocols, then you were clearly against Trump and his allies and you were anti American and against freedom. And that wearing a mask is a restriction against freedom and, a bunch of other stuff that was, like, in my mind, just silly because a virus is a microscopic, not even really quite an organism that doesn't care about political lines. Its only thing is infect and reproduce, infect and reproduce until it can't infect and reproduce anymore. And so instead of doing sensible stuff, then everybody made it into basically this joke where we wouldn't get any strong leadership. So some places were all like nothing, and some folks were like, yeah, let's try to lock down. But if you don't do, systematic, methodical thing, like first off, we got rid of our pandemic team right off the bat. Like we built the pandemic team and got rid of it. And I'm like, that's dumb. Like the president got rid of the pandemic team when we had a pandemic team from the former president. So that was problem number one. Then there was a lack of leadership for the 50 states on what to do when it comes to the virus, leading everybody up to try to figure it out on its own. Then we ran out of supplies, which is actually where I come in a little bit because I got a chance to help with that supply shortage. I did my part. Um, but after the supply shortage, and then we started taking supplies from other countries, kind of deal. Even though the federal government has the best bargaining capabilities and whatever have you, it started hoarding supplies but letting the states fend for themselves since the states were short on supplies as well. And then, of course, with a lack of leadership, we then started having protests against any sort of lockdown with people with armed weapons literally storming capitals and, fighting against the idea of wearing a mask and calling it oppression. And I was all like, black people have been oppressed for the past 400 years and counting, but yeah, you guys are oppressed because you're wearing a mask, but whatever. Anyway, I mean, I'm still shook that I could walk into a store with a mask on, like me as a black man, walk into a store with a mask and not get shot. Oh my goodness, happy days. But be that as it may, anyway, so then the lack of leadership allowed things to run rampant and out of control. The inconsistency, the lack of preparedness, the lack of willing to do anything. Trump had that issue that he made about, I guess, UV lights or bleach or whatever have you. And then he literally stopped meeting with the pandemic team for 5 months. I'm like, how are you going to stop meeting with your pandemic team for 5 months when, you're in the middle of a pandemic? Like the pandemic's been going on for 9 months, which therefore means that for more months than the pandemic has been, he has actively not met with the pandemic team. So that shows you the level of leadership that we've had, kind of deal. Add the politicalization of wearing a mask and all that other jazz, and then of course some people are arguing whether the masks even work or not, and I'm all like, they do, but whatever, and they're like, you shouldn't wear it. And my favorite one was all like people who would take smells and they would spray outside of the mask and be like, if you could smell that, then how is the mask working? And I'm all like, because a scent molecule is so much smaller than a virus. It'd be like you standing probably next to Mount Everest or something and saying like they're the same size in order of magnitude. But people, they don't think, they don't have that scientific background, that brain power. So like trying to explain to them like the difference between like micro and nano and atto and those kind of sizes, they would just like stare at you dumbfounded, like what? Like if fart escapes through your jeans, I'm all like, yeah, but methane is way smaller than any virus because you got to think about it. Methane's a chemical, right? But it takes many chemicals to develop and make an organelle, and an organelle would be one thing that you would find inside of a virus, which potentially has more than one organelle. So that would be like, if I took my heart out of my chest and then was all like, yep, that's the same size as me, or maybe not even my heart, like something smaller than my heart, an eyeball. Yeah, probably like, that kind of level, or actually stuff that makes up my eyeball. It's dumb. That's what I'm trying to say. It's dumb. But, yeah. Um, so, no lockdowns, no leadership, politicized a virus that doesn't care about politics. All of that just sort of helped the United States just become just the laughing stock of the world and a joke, and everybody just looks to us and like, ha, you guys don't know what you're doing. And that's why over the summer the European folks got a chance to party while we just got worse. And now everybody's back to having the lockdown. Even Europe's going a little bad again. But still, we never got a chance to really celebrate because we could never get a handle on anything because everybody wanted to have their head stuck so far up their butt. Iron Man was a B level hero that RDJ turned into a classic hero that's true talent. Again, I do feel like RDJ is an amazing actor and definitely kicked off and helped in a lot of ways with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and so he definitely gets my props on that. I'm still saying that Iron Man himself is terrible. Let's see. Is it psychologically proven that people who lose their virginity later in life have a higher income statistically? But why is that? Well, people who are able to, well, I don't know if this is a statistic thing or not, but in my head, the way I see it is people who are able to wait to lose their virginity, like if they're actively choosing to wait to lose their virginity, not necessarily that they can't lose their virginity because nobody wants them, but because they're actively choosing, those are people who are setting aside certain goals and therefore going to achieve those goals. And so, like, they're deciding to be a certain level of stability financially and whatever have you before they even give the opportunity to maybe have a kid show up into the mix. So, it would make sense because they have shown incredible levels of willpower, restraint, goal setting, and then, like, they're subjugating themselves into the population anyway. Like, if you say, hey, I want to have a house before I have any kids, so I'm just not going to have sex, then you end up having this house before you have sex. So yeah, you're already better off financially, kind of deal. Like you set the goal and you're stuck with it. So yeah, I could see that. Let's see. Do women ruin lives? I mean, women ruin lives, men ruin lives, people ruin lives in general. Why does James Bond ask for shaken, not stirred? Because it's a catchphrase. What would you do if you had the info you had now and were aboard on that Titanic? Leave the Titanic. Have you ever played mind games with an interviewer during the interview? Yeah, probably. So 20 hates the Jedi Council and Tony Stark, just un-American. Well, the Jedi Council's evil and Tony Stark's the MCU villain, so yeah, it makes sense. It tracks out. Did my broadcast freeze up on you guys, or did y'all catch all of that? My broadcast freeze up? Ooh, metal. Uh-oh, I forgot to bring some cobblestone with me. Oh, I'm already down here. Oh well. Was that it? Have I defeated all the questions? Why are you over here, spider? Why are you over here? You had no business being there. Did I ever find this location? There we go. Well, I gotta go. Gotta work tomorrow in 5 hours. I understand that. Glad you were here, Abdurhas. Hope to see you on Monday. Time for me to just explain. I didn't think it was time for me to explore this part of the map, but you know what? Maybe it is. Oh, it's definitely time for me to explore this cobblestone. Temporary detour here. I think that's pretty much my brain at the moment. I'll admit. I could do better than I'm bad at the blocking of lava a lot of the time. Sounds like there's a lot of monsters waiting for me on the side. So if oh, just in case. Yep, there's the lava. That was coming. Knock all that lava off. I know it's a shame to, but at the same time, you have to have all the lava. Ooh, wow, it got dark. Coal all right here. Jeez, they just want to grab everything, huh? All right. I won't. Missed the feature where I could watch the chat on the screen. That was a good feature that I wish they hadn't gotten rid of. Just like I don't understand why they got rid of the snap feature. I'm supposed to be having these good ideas and then be like, yeah, we should abandon these. You're like, but why? Oh yeah, I did mention that Captain America was also grimy. Let's be honest here. Captain America was from New York. Found out his boy Bucky had basically offed Iron Man's parents, and was all like, "Yeah, I'm still gonna stand by my dude." And then, like, proceeded to beat down Tony in the middle of the uh, field with it. Like, just left that man to die in like Antarctica. I mean, it wasn't really Antarctica, I don't think, but I do remember thinking, "Oh shoot, they killed Tony because he shoved the shield into his chest." But I didn't. I forgotten that at that point Tony had gotten rid of the sharpener that was trying to kill him. I was definitely like, they just tried to kill my man Tony. Like in the comic books, I was definitely Team Captain America, and I thought Tony was full of nonsense with the human civil rights, and that's the Human Registration Act. But in the movies, I mean, it's really first off, it's Tony's fault that they need that particular rule anyway. But be that as it may, I was more Team Tony than I was Iron Man because Iron Man was just so grimy, just like ugh. Y'all just two Brooklyn dudes beating up on some rich guy because y'all ain't want to abandon each other, even though one dude clearly killed the rich boy's parents. Like, I can't have you out here killing my parents and then I'm supposed to just be cool with it. Talking about he's my friend. I mean, we were friends. At least I thought we were friends until did this Brooklyn beatdown of me real fast. Like I did something wrong. Like, only thing I did wrong was, I guess, be your friend. That is something I do find interesting. That once you break lava, it just, stays broken. Fine, I'm just all like, man, what do I care? I do need to check to make sure my shields are still strong. "48 minutes to go." Let's see. Go ahead and drop another shield. What time is it, right? 8, 11, 12, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 30. I could actually get away with an 8-hour one. 8 hours from now is that button. Sexy. So, have I fried everybody else's brain out? Am I the winner? Have in your hand. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, that was deep. Good passageway. Go exploring. Oh no. Grab that real quick. Get you lava. Heck nabbit lava. That'll really ruin the food. Hello, there's gold there. It's gold though. My boy's stunting up in here. Diving down here. Dived in. Looks like I got a bunch more stuff to find though. And we got some redstone down here. Nice. Up, I already messed up. You know what? It's not even worth it. Hold on. I mean, I can go find more coal. Like everybody got quiet, which makes me think that they're running out of questions. There's no end to this cavern, which is not a bad thing, you know. It's not a bad thing to have no end. A little high up, so we're not gonna find any diamonds on this level, that's for sure. I'm about to pass all this up, so we don't really. What was I trying to? On something earlier. Sounds like this place has no end. But I'll sun will fall back in there. This wasn't it. Yep, this looks familiar. Over here, let's grab the siren. We can leave the coal. Always come back and get the coal if we need it. Because there's a lot of it. Redstone over there. First. Out of here. And actually down to my last torch. I'm dumb. Just because I'm down to my last torch. Lava above here? Out there. Fight each other? What? I like how there's water clearly emptying out into lava and doing nothing. Really impressive. Oh, I don't have any more torches, but... Nothing? Killed me in another... I'll admit this cavern I found is getting more and more interesting as time goes on. I expect to find so much. I was putting this cavern to tap out ages ago. My batteries are gonna die soon. How do I have a torch here? I'll be exploring this lava location for days. Let's get out of here. Well, I think everybody's questions are tapped out as soon as I get back to the safety of my lair, which I'm kind of lost now, so I'm gonna get back home, but I figure out how to get back home. Go ahead and let the chill time come to a close. Okay, I'm legitimately lost. Shouldn't be. Yeah, here I am. Austin. Yeah, nope, I thought I had did something. Self turned around. Water. Oh, that's starting to make more sense. I do remember water before. Okay. I think I just came right back to where I was. Yeah, that's funny. Let's think this one through like 20 ninjas. There's a way out. There's always a way out. There has to be a way out. Now, You built this, which means that at some point you were this high. Check. If you were this high, you had to come from somewhere in order to build this to say you wanted to get back here. Your way out should have been somewhere over here. Fine, but clearly it's not. Clearly that's a dead end. And if it's not there, it's in the surrounding location. Okay. Wait, is that blue? I do recall seeing that blue before. And I'm gonna get to that blue. Seal that off just in case. Got you. So I've been down there before. What kind of rock that is. Oh, that's a rock that'll lead to my death. But I wasn't standing on it. Okay. Water. But we've done this water before, right? Yep, we've definitely done this water before. Oh, and we're swimming. Oh, wait. Have I been in this water before? I have, because I did the massive digging there. Cool, we're on the right track. We're on the right track on the way out of here. Yep. Pour this lava before I do that. Alright, I think we're safely on our way out. Say that and then I immediately take a wrong turn, I'm sure. Came through that way. Sure. Path through lava is cool. Why? It's fine. Monster, how did you even spawn here? Down there. Oh well. Alright. Oh, that was dumb of me. Get more memorable to get over here. Oi? Whoa. How'd I miss this? Oh, probably because I went the wrong way. Must have stopped digging. Oh, hey, those are 2 torches. I'll have a lot to explore here later. Wait a minute. I just came from that way. I did. Yep. Okay. Once I get to this mess. Like how I thought I found the way out, but then it turned out maybe I didn't. Pretty sure I'm once again going the wrong way. Forms of an armored fellow, I could just dig my way out, but I'm all the way at floor 10, so that's a long dig. Blocking that off, yeah. Crossing this, yeah. Fight something over here? I did. little slime monsters. It's cute that y'all exist, but legitimately turned around here. Oh, that's how I got out of here. Got it. This is how I. Yeah. We'll take the time to grab this real quick. Here. While I'm right here. La 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 la. All that. Go. Wait a minute. There's no way in God's green earth I'm back where I started. Yet. Here I am on God's green earth back where I started. Ain't that a... That beat all. Alright, let's pause. Water flowing down there. Yep. I have never been that route because there are no torches there. Definitely. I like how I thought I figured out the way out of here, but now it's all like clearly somehow turned myself around and ended up back where I shouldn't be. And we know that water's no good. Yep. Go back to this. Oh, we already came this way. There we go. This has to be the route. Yeah, here we go. Bite 20 is on his way back home. The joys of Minecraft and being horribly lost. Remember, because I can never find this stupid location, but it's right here by this tunnel. Something you think I would remember by now, but nope. Dark and foreboding. Over here at some point. Okay, like 20 ninjas, please stop falling. Too eager to leave. I'd like to know how if I have a 50-50 chance of it being day or night. You get out of those tunnels when it's 100% of the time nighttime. White gravel. Probably because then you have motivation to get quartz. Well, no, I guess I could make white gravel. I just gotta go collect some white flowers. That's what I'm gonna do. Stop collecting all them dang on quartz and go into the nether world. A solution. Literally just found a solution. Why this pig is always here. What the? You just gonna sit under my tree that I planted and wait for me? You don't going out in the sun. You going in the sun. You got something on your head? That was weird. Also weird that he was just sitting there waiting for somebody. Actually, I'm gonna kill him. Guess if he had something on his head. Get more. Are you following me now, Piggy? Unwise to follow me. I won't eat you, but I generally don't like swine in my house. Okay, but I did that. There's a bunch of white flowers over here. So I'm gonna shot real quick. Quartz, and I want to make any quartz. Get any more quartz? I have quartz, but gravel. Like earlier, there was nothing but white flowers, but now that I'm sitting here on the search for white flowers, all the white flowers going missing. Earlier, I'm all like, man, I don't want none of these ugly white flowers. Now I want white flowers, and they're like, you can't have white flowers. They no longer exist. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And one of y'all, somebody's getting turned into some white dye. Hope. Ah, dagnabbit. Hold. I did say that when I got back into safety, I was gonna end this broadcast, and I'm about to. I'm just trying to see if I can mine these white flowers before I do. I saw a lot of 20 ninjas over there. I didn't see any more white flowers in the immediate surrounding areas, so. Where did it come from? That was funny. Look, there's another one down there just burning. Wonder why. Oh, y'all, somebody's turning into some white dye. Oh boy, I found some white dye. White dye comes potentially white concrete powder. White concrete powder comes quartz. There we go. Alright, let's sleep. Since you guys are all out of questions, let's end the broadcast. So, it's been fun just chilling with like 20 ninjas. I will catch you guys all on Monday. Do 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 do.